what I thought the best way to start this discussion that we want to lead to what is the future of Immunopaedia and the future of education online was to ask Clive, who is after all the founder of Immunopaedia, a couple of questions just to get the discussion going. What were for him the highlights of Immunopaedia over the years and the challenges? And the second question for him, how does he see the future of Immunopaedia and the future of immunology education? And after that, we'll open up for general discussion. So Clive.
Okay. So the highlight was presenting Immunopaedia to the IUIS executive in 2014 and getting in Nairobi, yes, and getting a thumbs up all around. And I felt a weight had been lifted off me because at that point we were struggling to keep going. But so that was one highlight. The other highlight is seeing and knowing that people are using Immunopaedia. And they were helping during their medical school training, they were helping during their exams, and people are using it for teaching. So that's another highlight. And your other question is, where do I see the future of immunology?
The biggest challenges.
Oh, the biggest challenges.
Funding?
Well, besides funding, that's always a challenge. But I'd say the biggest challenge has been over the past 2.5 years trying to get the new website going. And we have battled to find the right people. We've gone through 3, or we may be now on our 4th web designer, and we're building. It's a cumulative effort. This has been the biggest challenge, I think, because we want to make Immunopaedia a more learning-friendly platform. It's obviously currently being used, which is fantastic, but we want it more exciting to learn from, and that's been a challenge. So that's one challenge. And historically, the challenge has been where the website has been written in a code that becomes obsolete. So we have a non-functioning website, but that's in the past, and we learn from that. Those are non-financial challenges.
And how you see the future of Immunopaedia and the future of immunology teaching, since you have been a front runner in immunology education in Africa and worldwide, I would say.
So I see the future of immunology teaching is the way the room currently is organized right now, which you can't see, or maybe there are people in the room here, is in a didactic format, i.e. tables and chairs going back to the end of the room. This is the old-fashioned way of teaching. We're not teaching, obviously, today, but a more modern, inclusive, and dynamic way is to be in groups and to work in groups. And that's what we currently are moving towards with the Immunopaedia. We've done this for years, of course, but now we want to do this online as a future of Immunopaedia, but also to focus more on deep learning. No longer facts and figures, but actually how you interpret data, or how you interpret a concept, or how you apply a concept. And of course, we can't get away from big data and omics, but it's a current fad. It will go. Something else will replace it. AI will come and probably go, with us included. So integration of AI, I think it was who presented something on it. Mark, it was you. Was it AI? Who presented? Anyway, yeah, this is this is the way to go. I can't be any more specific.
Okay, so
but it's a discussion we can have.
yeah. Are we able to undo the microphones of the ambassador? Their microphones are blocked. We found out earlier on.
Yes.
Who is that?
Yes. Hello, Dr. Michelle, Dr. Clive, and Lisa. Nice to see you.
Ooh,
Nafisa.
This is Nafisa.
Ah, Nafisa.
Nice to hear your voice.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you. It's been a while.
I can't see you, unfortunately, but can you, there's Gabriel, I can see Gabriella. Can we see Nafisa?
Yes, please.
Okay. Gabriella, what are your views on the future of immunology and the future of Immunopaedia?
Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to see you. So my perspective of the future of Immunopaedia, I think that Immunopaedia already has a great way to teach to the students, but one of my favorite parts of Immuno courses are the writing of the grant project. So what if we not only keep with the writing, but what if we can move forward and work as a team and try to make that grant project a reality? I think that will be a great approach for the future of Immunopaedia. But for me, right now, it's a great model of teaching.
I did not quite get that. Could you repeat the essence of it?
Yes. So for me, my favorite. Could you hear me?
Gabriella, maybe you could take your headphones off and just speak into the computer, because you're very muffled.
Oh, now we lost her. Well, let's go to Nafisa then for now. What are your views on the future of Immunopaedia and immunology learning?
To me, I feel that Immunopaedia has the potential to become a global, like a global hub for accessible resources and cutting-edge immunology education, especially in low resources settings in developing countries, because it's a free encyclopedia to me, and it also can bridge the gap between research and learning, and this way it will empower the next generation of scientists and clinicians to respond to global health challenges.
So can you tell us if you know of people in Sudan, because you're from Sudan, using how much is Immunopaedia helpful in Sudan? In your colleagues?
Many of my colleagues and my friends are using Immunopaedia. It's actually now the research in Sudan is becoming very very declining due to the situation that we are facing in Sudan. So people are displaced in so many places, and now Sudan research is the last option. You get what I'm trying to say?
That is very sad situation, but if they can at least, at least the site is there. If they can get online, then they'll be able to still learn some immunology, right?
Yes, I do. I've been through so many institutions before, and I was studying the world of Immunopaedia, and they were using the site actively, and yeah, for me, Immunopaedia was very accessible, and it helped them much because it's like an open encyclopedia.
So we have Gabriela back. Thank you, Nafisa.
Yeah. Hi, is it better now?
Much better.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Sorry for that. So what I was saying is that my favorite part of immuno courses are the grant writing. So I think that one way that maybe we can move forward is not only keeping with the writing of the grants, but actually trying to make a team effort to move forward with those projects and make it reality in facilities of the countries that the team belongs. I think that that will make a great perspective of immunology for the students, and maybe we can have very great results of that. But for me now, the Immunopaedia teaching is a great way to show immunology to young students and move forward in our careers. So thank you very much, Immunopaedia, and congratulations.
Do we have any other ambassador who want to say something?
Can I say something?
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to say that Immunopaedia is already doing great on its own so far.
Yes. You don't see any improvement needed?
But you are muted now, right? We cannot
TB.
hear you.
With TB. Okay. I was wondering
Okay,
how...
sorry, my microphone was off. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying that Immunopaedia is already doing really great so far, and one way to maybe help it to move forward is to maybe increase his globalness, especially in less developed countries. For example, I will take the example in my country back in Cameroon. There's not much people aware of Immunopaedia, and I've tried in my university, but while it's still virtual, people don't really see its impact. Maybe trying to make it at the ground, like at the field, by maybe organizing, like there have been some courses organized by IUS elsewhere, maybe try to target also other less developed countries for more impact. That's what I think.
To answer that, to me, one of the ways to move forward is really to try to promote Immunopaedia a lot more, because still a lot of people do not know about Immunopaedia, and if they don't know about it, they certainly are not using it. So that is my question to all of you, how can we promote Immunopaedia more?
Can I say something?
They can have a channel for Immunopaedia, a YouTube channel, especially for Immunopaedia, with more videos and more scientific information.
I think Dudu, you want to say something?
Can I say something?
Hi everyone. Happy birthday to Immunopaedia. I would just like to comment on what Michelle just said. We as Immunopaedia Ambassador and as people that benefit from Immunopaedia, we can give back in promoting Immunopaedia. As an example, I did start this year giving lectures in our university, and at start of every single lecture, I advocate to my student to use Immunopaedia resources that are very useful to get a better understanding of immunology. So that is an example of how we can help with promoting Immunopaedia.
Right, from the ambassadors popularizing, but I think we also need more than that. How, Dieter, do you have any idea on this?
Can I say something?
No.
Yes.
Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Yes.
Who's that?
Who are you?
I am Ezetino Lewis from Nigeria, one of the new
yes,
ambassadors.
okay. Yes.
Yes. One challenge I noticed we're experiencing, especially in West Africa, is the fact that most of what we do is just theory. We hardly have practical training, especially when it comes to issues of immunology and molecular biology aspect of life sciences. What I've experienced myself, even up to PhD level, is a very, very serious challenge for us. So I want to believe that Immunopaedia organizes. I think adding on-hand training, especially on things like DNA analysis and molecular analysis, aspect of what you will enhance its reach.
Do you mean on-hand training in person or online?
On-hand training, maybe during the conferences you organize. It will make it more attractive to people who attend. And with that, ambassadors like us can further reach the goals of Immunopaedia further. Like in the institution where I teach now, I would like to use this platform to teach immunology. But when I encourage the student that you can attend conferences and trainings where you can do this thing on yourself, by yourself, they will become more interested and want to be there. I think something like that will encourage the effort of Immunopaedia, especially in countries like my.
I see if people now are into scientific careers and scientific content. I see Instagram, people, they like Instagram because it has like short videos with scientific information. So if we can take that to reality, if we can make Immunopaedia more exposed on Instagram, and by showing the scientific content in a very good photo shooting, if that's the word, like that. Like giving certain information and sponsored by Immunopaedia. It will be more this way, and Immunopaedia will be more exposed.
So the Instagram would be promoting it, or would be giving little snapshots of, because Instagram is free, right?
Yes.
How do you see this?
It has to be. I feel this will work very, because now people, they like short videos, short information.
Okay. Anybody else has comments? How we can, Dieter, did you have any comments on how to promote?
Well, one thing which comes to.
Hi. Hello. Hi. I don't know if everybody can hear me. Hello.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. Nice to meet you all, and congratulations. And also thank you so much for the opportunity to meet you all. I'm Alejandra Oyoste. I'm an ambassador from Argentina, and I think it will be a really good idea to try to connect with other immunology societies around the world. For example, maybe some of the ambassadors, we are also members from immunology societies in our countries, and that usually organize annual meetings. So I think it will be a good idea to try to connect and also include Immunopaedia in those meetings, different conferences. So at least at national level, we can meet and we can spread more the work of Immunopaedia in those meetings, not only online, but also in person. I think maybe that could be a way to also promote the work we all are doing every day.
Right. I think at some meetings, I think Clive may be able to comment on this, because We have had, I remember, especially I think in Mexico or maybe Colombia, how did you promote Immunopaedia in specific ways? Clive?
Are you asking me?
Yes. How do you
I mean,
see other ways of promoting or increasing the visibility?
Yeah, someone has said we need a Spanish version. But maybe that's very true. Well, we can reach probably a third of the world.
Yes, I think, or Chinese version, or the other third.
There you go, Fernanda, you got a job.
I think, you know,
Sorry, Michelle.
when I was thinking, this was raised in the context of the Madagascar course, where we did have a French course in Tunisia at some point, and whether the pre-course online in a country where the main language is not English, whether there should be more sessions in the language of the students to encourage them to, you know, to join by saying that some translation will be provided, and you could have tutorial sessions online, you know, in the language, and that especially like West Africa and North Africa, French is more dominant, and all of Latin America could be a special session pre-course, if not at the course, to really translate and get a discussion going in the language of the students, and, you know, with, of course, some English also, but just to help.
Yeah.
And Yanet as a Spanish site, right, for immunology. So maybe key could start with translating key lectures or have key discussions concerning Immunopaedia, what it can do, and of course
we have a comment here in the room.
Okay, so I do work with Immunopaedia, and that's a fantastic tool for education. But I think for the future of Immunopaedia, I agree with Clive. Somehow we need to incorporate some form of AI, because if we're going to be honest, all students around the world is using AI as a platform for education. I think if Immunopaedia could build its own immunology chat box, where it uses immunology or Immunopaedia as a data source. So whatever immunology question you have, takes you directly to the information. This model can be built to change language, solves the language issue. So yeah, something like that. So then the only problem with AI is that you do not know if the sources that it uses is validated. But if you're using Immunopaedia as a source and as its only source, then you know the information's validated.
Yeah.
And I think that would definitely boom if you can sell it off as an Immunopaedia AI or immunology AI. And researchers, whenever they need to look for a specific antibody interaction or cellular interaction, they can put it directly into the chat box, and the chat box will take them straight to the information or discuss it with him.
Yeah.
Well, there's a big challenge to implement that, but I think you are right. We cannot.
But I think that is the future currently.
Okay, someone else wants to comment on?
Yes, I agree with Alejandra. I think that maybe having an stand of Immunopaedia at a regional congress may help to give this information to other students that may not know about Immunopaedia. Maybe it's not necessary that one goes to each country. Well, I mean, she's welcome to Mexico if she wanted, but maybe the ambassadors, maybe we can be at that stance and give information about Immunopaedia in our regional congresses.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Thank you, Gabriela. Yeah, I was thinking something like that, or maybe like a meeting like this online. You know, you can organize a session, or you can invite ambassadors around the world, and maybe or it could be a pre-course conference, something like that. But at least Immunopaedia is there. For example, I'm a member of the Argentinian Society of Immunology, so the conference is going to be at the end of the year. So maybe there we can propose something like that, at least a session from Immunopaedia, or because the conference last year, I'm not, yeah, it was last year. Actually, they have an Immunopaedia session, and I think doing something like that is really important because it can help us promote with our colleagues here in the country about what Immunopaedia is doing on the courses and all the information you got on the website. Thank you, Roberta.
So may I comment on that? That's a great suggestion. But can we tap into you and other ambassadors to do that? Because we can't come to every conference or meeting as much as we would love to.
Absolutely.
And I'll give you an example. At the Alassi meeting it was then called the Ally meeting in 2018 in Mexico, in Cancun. Two ambassadors presented a poster. I was there actually, but then another meeting was in Australia, I think Melbourne, and one of our ambassadors made a poster and presented that and promoted, actually gave a talk. We helped him a lot, but that's fine. But he actually gave the talk, and he promoted Immunopaedia for us being the committee here. So this is one function that the ambassadors could really, really help us spread the word in West Africa, Central, yeah.
And Latin America, yeah, of course.
Oh, of course, I was meaning plus Africa, yeah. And in India.
In India, yes.
I would have another suggestion or maybe question. I mean, if you want to promote Immunopaedia as a online teaching platform for immunology, aren't there many faculties at universities who have at least of immunology as part of their curriculum, in the faculty of biology or whatever? So wouldn't it also be possible to sort of send the information to the deans of faculties of biology, to wherever universities, and spread the word that Immunopaedia is available as a teaching tool to help organize teaching or to provide teaching modules for immunology? So this might be tedious, and maybe there's not too much of a response, but maybe this would be another way to sort of make Immunopaedia more visible also at the universities, at the faculties where immunology is taught in one way or another.
And also through the societies of immunology.
Yes, yes, of course, yes.
For sure, with a jazzy message that explains.
I mean, just what comes to my mind, the German Society of Immunology, every year we have 3 courses. So we have one, it's called the Basic School of Immunology, and then we have an advanced school and a spring school. And of course, at least for the basic school, the Immunopaedia learning modules would be very helpful. And so this could be easily organized, of course.
Yes. Great idea.
Yeah, we have a question here in the audience.
Very briefly.
I think that's a great suggestion, Dieter.
I actually tried to use Immunopaedia for teaching, and because we pay for education over there, they
say who you are and where you're
Yes,
from.
hi, I'm Fernando Martinez Estrada, and I'm a senior lecturer / assistant professor in the University of Surrey and Oxford. And I tried to use it for teaching, and because we pay for the education, actually the license didn't allow us to use Immunopaedia material. So there may be...
Which license?
I don't know. That's what came from marketing. So usually for us to use materials, we need to use the CYB 4.0.
This is a typical university. We're under Creative Commons license for derivative. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, they said that we couldn't use it because it's free. Therefore, I don't know. I think it's very strange.
So this is the dilemma we have, both here at Stellenbosch and at UCT, and elsewhere. I think is they see Immunopaedia, and it hasn't come from within the university. It's out from the outside, and it's free, therefore it's no good.
Maybe you should have a fee for the universities who want to pay.
There's a couple of more questions in the room.
Hi everyone, I'm Lesedi Dikoba, a PhD candidate at UCT, hosted here for the Tigris program. So just like you mentioned about the AI, and then somebody did mention online that what if it's incorporated within lectures. I know that since you're a medical student as well, you can say this. At the library, there's a poster that shows anatomy.tv, meaning that it consists of anatomy and physiology. So whenever there are lectures for the medical students, they direct them to that portal. It's free access for Stellenbosch University students, but if you're outside, you'll then have to pay. So I feel like students are sort of forced to go through that channel to learn anatomy and physiology. It's not really being forced, but then you get to really learn. It's just like immunology. I know here, for example, the honor students, they'll have to go through that channel of Immunopaedia, and then since it will be incorporated with AI, it will be quite fun for them, because I've realized this generation, people want things fast, give me information now. But then I know Immunopaedia, it's verified information now, as you said. And yeah, collaborating with software developers will be great as well to make this process speedy. So yeah.
Live comments?
Okay. Was there another question you wanted? No. Okay. Sabella, do you want to make any comments? Sorry, I'm picking on you.
So we've
Sabella, you're from UCT.
I'm from UCT, and I have been using Immunopaedia for a long time now, mainly for teaching for advanced immunology, because a lot of our students come from, well, BSc students would not necessarily have a background in immunology, and we also get lots of MMeds, at least, who want some knowledge on immunology. It's been good. I mean, so we have a special course that is specifically for advanced course, which I don't know, maybe we must have had, I would need to count. I mean, this has been going on for 15 years now. Probably was Immunopaedia introduced probably around 2011 in the course. So yeah, so it's been going on for at least a good almost 15 years. It's used a lot. I mean, all our students, we basically have a specific course for each lecture that they have to go through, and they have quizzes in the end. It's not really forced learning, but they do get marks out of it. I mean, I agree that if you were to really think about reaching a bigger audience, I think maybe translating to different languages would have a bigger impact. I mean, if you think of West Africa and South America, and I think that would have a bigger impact. AI is always interesting because not everything that's out there you can believe. You almost we like to always go back to the original book, which is for us it's Ida Reut. It's helpful to have information that you can trust. Yes, it needs to be compacted in such a way that you can learn it quickly, but as Clive was saying earlier, that perhaps we also need to encourage deep learning, because with deep learning is when people ask deep questions about subjects. So I don't think immunology is one of those fields where you can, have a quick a 2-second video that it just doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Yeah. So for me, I always feel that even with adding AI, you need to also think about how do you encourage deep learning. And in fact, a lot of the stuff that we do in the advanced course is really that, to say how do we teach students to think deeply about, dissecting papers and really thinking deep about the research that is happening and whether it's correct or not correct or what it can be improved. So I think if you can think about ways of how do you integrate that into as part of learning, but also really encouraging deep learning, I think it could be great. And I think translating to different languages, of course, with bigger populations. Not sure if it will help very much to translate to Zulu. It might, but it might get 10 people. but yeah, I think it's really great discussions because obviously we still want to keep on using it. I think it's a great platform, and students always feel that they learn a lot from it. Yeah. Apart from us standing up and
question behind you as well.
Teaching.
So we have another question, Michelle, from the room.
Good evening. My name is Sinalo, and I'm an honor student. I think the AI thing is good. Obviously, I'll say that because we're using it, but I think instead of like letting the AI give you an answer, we could be like, it could page you to where to find the answer. And then we meet everyone in the middle. We meet the people that use AI to get the answer, and then we also meet the lecturers that like don't use AI in the middle, where I could click, where do I find antibody ABC? And then it would be like, it's under this, under this, under this. Instead of you going to check all the tabs to look for your answer, it could direct you to where it is. In that way, you don't spend time checking through it, but you also read the work that is on the website. I think as like a first step, it could be like that.
Yeah. I see there's a comment here from Joanne Passmore about CPD. We do offer CPD points that's one of the first things that we implemented way back when we first started to offer CPD.
Even today's right, as CPD points.
So we've considered doing CME points, which is international.
Oh, CME, okay.
Which is anyone in the world. Although there are different categories or different strands of CME, different countries. So we could progress in that way. So everyone gets benefit somehow.
Another point I think about Immunopaedia is the update, the update of the material that is needed, right? And is the new website also updating information? I mean, did it have as a mandate to update? Clive?
So update the case studies, update the content.
Update the content.
Yes, so we're using that we're using the new website to be able to do that. So we're constantly now updating the case studies and updating, hence the affiliated content linked to the case studies.
Is that done through the ambassadors?
It's done through Caleb, who's standing right in front of me. He's not an ambassador. He's actually works with us on Immunopaedia, but we could also use the ambassadors. Yeah.
Because this must be a lot of time taken to. I mean, some of the content was from the courses started, more than 10 years ago.
Right, exactly. So the very first course, immunochronology Colombia in Medellin, much of that is vastly out of date by now in terms of the themes, anyway.
Yeah. But several sections are also updated because of the
sure. I mean, that's the other challenge we have. Yeah, that's another challenge. Yeah.
Well, we are past our 1 hour, and we are certainly late. So, does anybody have any urgent point that they want to raise besides?
No, there's lots of nodding heads here, Michelle. I think everyone's hungry.
Yes, and we want to especially thank you, Clive, for having done such incredible work over the years, and Bon, who supports the Immunopaedia, and all the people who have been involved in content, in generating material, and preparing free courses and so forth, because without a lot of volunteers, I don't think the site would be where it is now. So thank you all. And I pass it over. Dieter, do you have any final comments?
Except to say that I'm sorry that I cannot join the cocktail party.
Yeah,
no, we're sorry too.
No, thank you very much also from my side, Clive, and all the team. So, and I think this has been a very interesting discussion with lots of suggestions and ideas, and I think we should keep on, discussing the progress and the future of Immunopaedia. And I think some of the ideas are really very interesting, and we should pursue them.
Yes, I agree. And also just to thank again Bon and Caleb, and Faith is online. I think she's one of our employees. Wonderful. I'm just the person standing here.